they switch over that the next season after this will be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just because of the uproar about changing of guard or whatnot, but they're just like, no, give it a chance. And I'm like, well, I mean, they're fucking two different people, you know? It's like,
yeah, it's kind of, well, I'm not caught up, so like I'll keep watching until whenever.
Yeah, well, they haven't officially made the switch yet, or at least that season hasn't come out yet. They like just had the teaser for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it shows old Hemsworth turning his head at the last minute.
Like that?
Yeah, essentially. It's like shows him from behind, and then he goes, and it shows like a side view of him as Geralt now instead of Superman.
Oh. Hold on a second.
Out.
Okay, we're live.
Ted out.
Ted out.
Ted out.
So, how was your week?
It was okay.
That's cool.
A lot of it felt short just because most people where I work will take the Friday off before the break to extend the weekend and give them a 4-day weekend. Instead, I took the latter half of it and took Tuesday off instead.
Took Tuesday off, huh?
Yeah, I worked the full week last week and then took Tuesday off. So I had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So last week, while it was kind of annoying, was like semi-shorter feeling, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's cool.
Wow.
Hold on. Just sending this link to people.
What?
I visited my cousin Dax yesterday. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we had a good time.
Where's he residing now?
He is
in state now? Because he was in LA for a while, right?
No, he's been around. He's just he's in West Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Which is
years ago, didn't he move to LA for a while? I thought he did. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
I think like when we first met, he did, but I don't know. I can't think of a time he did after that. No, he moved for like 9 months and came back.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. I just didn't see him for a long time.
Maybe. Yeah. So as promised, I said I'd give away a slab today, so I'll do it. I don't know what slab I gotta look through some slabs to give away, but yeah, I'll definitely do a slab. We hit 650 subscribers yesterday. And then YouTube said, nah, that's fake. And they dropped us down to 649.
Son of a bitch. No, that was because I unsubscribed. I was like, done.
You're like subscribe, unsubscribe,
crap that keeps
subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe.
They're like, this guy's obviously a bot. Like, no, I just have nothing better to do than mess with you.
Okay, dude, can I ask you something real quick?
Maybe.
See my hat. What do you first think of?
Like, what do I think of?
Just like passing glance. Like, oh, when you see it, you're like, oh, what is that? You're like, oh, that's insert.
WWF.
Thank you.
What'd you think? What?
God.
What is it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be WWF.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're asking. It's an old school WWF freaking.
Because they're not
affiliated.
That World Wildlife Fund or whatever, all of a sudden out of nowhere.
I don't know.
In the 90s, decided that now we're going to be offended that you're using our moniker.
I don't know. But, dude, so many people were like, oh, cool, Wonder Woman. I go, no, absolutely not. One guy yesterday said, hey, I like that old school WWF hat.
It's like
I gave him one of these.
I didn't know what you were like going for with it. I thought it was something else. So I was going to be like, I thought you were like searching for like a specific event like Royal Rumble or like SummerSlam or something like that.
No, it's like I just saw this on Amazon and I just like I gotta have it.
Or they got I can't remember what the hell those pay-per-views were called, but remember when they don't do them anymore. They only stick to the main ones at this point. Like it's basically like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, like Royal Rumble. I think they still just do those ones.
Yeah.
But they used to do one where it was like they had a team captain and then he picked a team, and then they all like you fought basically all the way down until it was the last teams. Like it was always like Ultimate Warrior had a team, Mr. Perfect I think had a team, and it was like they'd have weird people. It'd be like they team them up with like the most random ass people. It's like Mr. Perfect, and then it'd be like Demolition and like one other guy with him. And you're like that what? Like that doesn't make sense at all. It's like in the Big Boss Man or something like that.
Not Royal Rumble, right?
No, I can't. I want Survivor Series. Is that what it's called?
That sounds right. I mean,
I think that was what it was called. But they had like teams, and they had like team captain, and like Ultimate Warrior would always just be like snarling in the background while everybody else is doing the hype video.
Dude, Ultimate Warrior's entrance is so awesome. He just run like
yeah. Like he got out of the cannon and he never fell. Like I'm surprised. Like half the time you see him running with all that shit dangling off him, you feel like at one point in his career he had to have like tripped and ate shit coming down that ramp like hard.
Dude,
they just stopped the show.
He had the perfect wrestler body. Like it wasn't like too buff, but he wasn't like that. But he was just ripped, like just fucking ripped. He probably took roids, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure that's why like they kept dying of heart failures. They lost like they had like it was like a family of them, I believe, and they like kept dying. Yeah. They were like running through Ultimate Warriors.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they had like at least two different brothers. I think played the Ultimate Warrior. I think, but I thought they kept dying of like heart failure or some shit like that from all the steroids they were taking.
Good God, I didn't know that. Huh. Well, rest in peace.
Could be wrong.
I
like, but like, yeah, they don't have any of that stuff anymore. Like, I still remember. Like, it's weird. Like, our memories of wrestling are like different. Yeah. They're like, oh, you remember when like Mankind got thrown off of the Hell in a Cell and almost died, or like slammed through and broke his neck or whatever, or like Owen Hart. May he rest in peace. I watched that live. I was watching.
Shut up! You did not.
Yeah, I watched him fall, and then they cut the feed. I was like, "What just happened?"
Were you wait? Were you upset because? Were you like, "What just happened?" Because like you pay pay-per-view, or like, did you know that he like?
No, well, it was like a combo of both. Like, I mean, at first when he fell, like you thought it was like a stunt until you saw his head hit the fucking turnbuckle, and you're like, "Whoa, that's not." Fake. And then like they were just like, we gotta blah blah blah, and then like cut the feed, and then they came back and they were like, oh, we regret to like inform blah blah blah, Owen Hart passed away. And I'm like, what? I was like, I just watched somebody die.
Do they keep showing the show?
Yeah, they continued on with the paper. I mean, I think they had to, if I remember correctly. I don't think they stopped the pay-per-view at that point. I don't remember if he died like upon impact, or if they announced it later on in the pay-per-view that he had succumbed to his injuries. But my guess is like, as hard as he hit that turnbuckle from as far as he fell, like that was probably instantaneous. Like, hopefully.
I hope to God it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's horrible. Did you watch that pay-per-view or not pay-per-view? Did you watch that the A&E biography series that I told you to watch?
No, not yet.
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole, man.
In all fairness, like for whatever reason, like as short as my week was for work this week, I could not stay awake to save my life. Like I think out of all the shows I set out to like watch this week, I kept falling asleep. Like I'm in the middle of because like I started watching Foundation on Apple, and I think that's the season 1 finale of that was like the only thing I was able to watch all week. I fell asleep twice watching the new episode of Dark Matter, and I kept waking up and being like, damn it, and having to rewind it.
It's good. Yeah. Well, we're almost 10 minutes into the show. I
jumped all over from WWE, and
I mean, I started. It's my fault. It's my fault. Pickles. I don't know if you heard, but it's kind of going around the socials. Our good friend Tim Vo, he passed away actually on Tuesday evening after his show. I don't know the exact details. I don't really want to speak on that, but kind of wanted to just recognize that, like, this community is pretty awesome, and it sucks when you lose a dude like this guy. I think today, later on, there's going to be, hold on, let me see if I can find it. There's going to be a show on later today, I think around 6 o'clock Pacific time. Let me see here.
Originally published.
Now we're going to get shut down for watching other people's shows on our thing.
No, I'm just going to highlight the page, man.
No, I'm just saying, like, the one time that they...
Yeah. No, it's fine. So yeah, it's right here, and I'm sure everyone in the chat, you guys are kind of aware of what happened, but that he passed. But it's going to be later on today, so I encourage everyone to come through. I think they're doing kind of some type of like donation or some type of deal. I don't know.
I know. I did see. I believe it was Nemesis Prime posted a link to a GoFundMe. I believe.
Yeah,
that I had seen.
Yeah. You're probably right, but dude, did you ever watch this show ever?
I did watch the show,
yeah,
but it was kind of like not to take anything away from it, but they always had like quite a few people on there, so it was more a show that I didn't like watch necessarily, but I had on to listen to. If that makes sense.
Cool. Thanks, Mike. No, yeah, man. That was actually the first show I ever watched comic related, other than I want to say Comic Tom's show. Just as Comic Tom was local, so but yeah, man, on his Thursday night show was really like the one I never tried to miss. But man, he was a pretty cool dude. I know he's from like OC, and it's called Lords of the Long Box. He's a I would say he's a pretty OG show from YouTube stuff, but pretty well known dude. I know a lot. What did you say?
Oh, I said, yeah, they've been going for a while.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, check it out later today if you guys have time and all that. But yeah, really bummer news, man. Like, we lost another guy a while back. I can't think of who I'm talking about. But he hit 1,000 subscribers, like, I want to say a year and a half ago. Chat, I don't know if you guys can help me. Oh my god, I feel so bad. I forgot the dude's name. And that's what's crazy. What happens when someone passes, like, that's what happens, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like Empire.
Yes, Empire. Thank you. I remember before he passed, like, we were DMing a month ago, and I was like, hey man, like, if you need, some support, like trying to get to 1,000, like, I'll post your stuff on my Discord. And he actually ended up joining the old Discord, and like, he got up to 1,000, and I don't know if I had any I don't know if we had any effect on that at all, but like, he thanked me, and then like a month later he passed away. And I think another one of those health reasons he's a young dude. He was like in his 40s, like Jason and I were in our 40s, man. Like, so I guess like if you go get, if you're feeling some sort of way, like, go get checked out, or go get your physical, do all that stuff, man. Like, I lost a family friend, like 4 or 5 months ago. He was a couple years older than me, and it was a thyroid issue. And he was one of those guys that just didn't really have to go to the doctor, I guess. So man, like, get your annual physicals, feel good, man. Like, there's no shame in saying like, oh man, something hurts. I need to maybe go see a doctor, talk to somebody. I don't know. Just sucks, man. Really does. But anyway. Hey, what's up, Rushmore? New show I just kind of found the other day. I've been going through their show and all that, but yeah, good stuff, man. You guys have that pretty cool Friday show, so yeah, check them out. And we got our boy Fedora in the house. What's going on, man?
Yo, sorry I'm late. I had
That's all good.
Something happened with my daughter, so I had to call some
family first, man.
Hey.
Family first.
It was funny though. Yeah, she got into a little scuffle at the skate park with a boy.
Oh yeah,
bro.
Kick his ass, Seabass. All right, well, man, hey, another apologies, man. Hey, sorry about your Knicks, bro.
Yo, it is. Listen, we had a tremendous amount of the players hurt. They were. I mean, what could you? I mean, hey, they made it. You know, they made it with a hurt team that far. So hopefully, if they can stay healthy, you know,
I had no idea.
they might do better. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Pacers got blown out though, bro. That was crazy.
It's like
They dropped the Pacers had like a 20-point lead,
Yeah.
and then they let the Celtics catch up like multiple times, like multiple games. I'm like, how that happened?
It's on the coach, man.
Listen,
I don't know.
They need to get that little 4-year-old. You know that little 4-year-old kid? You know,
No.
there's a little 4-year-old kid, and his father's like a coach for like a high school or a college team.
I don't know. I thought I knew, but no, maybe I don't. Go.
And then there's like the little kid that's on like the sideline trying to like coach the team and shit. And then he has like a little checkerboard, and he like writes on it and shows people nonsense. Like that's who the Pacers needed, and the Mets need him too.
Throw in the Mets, man. They got some stuff going on too, man. The Mets, man.
Bro, I walked outside one day, and I went to like the deli, and all the newspaper rack was full of like that dude that was like, the Mets are the worst team in the league, or he said like teammate. He tried to backpedal on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was that's all the talk in New York right now. How bad the Mets are.
I mean,
the Rangers.
You guys you need I don't know what they need, man. It's still June, I guess. So I mean, you have that. So I don't know.
Listen, I'm more of a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
And I know the Yankees are like the best team in the league right now. No.
I think Philly is, but they're right there.
And then they're talking about like Aaron Judge with like all this. He like apparently that team is like the best team that the Yankees had in a very long time.
I mean, Soto hitting the 2 spot. Not bad, man.
Soto, Aaron Judge. The pictures are like really well.
Yeah.
I feel like the batting was like never the problem. It was more like the pitching. So
sure. Definitely, yeah. I mean, but with Soto hitting second, man. I mean, like that's gotta be nice though, for sure.
The Mariners are right in that sweet spot right now where they're we're first in the division, so that we can still appreciate that. But there's still enough season left where we're just like, oh, let's hold on. Like, we don't want to get too excited.
I'm never getting excited about the Mariners, man. They break my heart every time. So, yeah. All right. Well, we're about 20 minutes into the show. Again, shout outs to Lords of the Long Box, and check them out later tonight if you guys got time. But again, like, this community is awesome. I appreciate everybody's support. We'll do a slab giveaway at the end, as promised. I gotta find a slab to give away, but just stay until the end of the show, and so you can get an entry into that free 9/8 slab, and hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends. I've been doing all of these different shows, like videos for like market reports, like twice a week. I'll keep doing them, and as long as we get as long as people still like them. Otherwise, I do appreciate doing them. I don't know if you guys watch them on the panel or in the chat, but it's pretty cool. Video game market report and kind of the current and not so current comic book market report I like to do. So,
For market report. Like, oh, what's up, everybody else? It's Ferd with
my god,
video game market report.
He needs a breaking news intro.
Exactly. I fucking hate you, Jason. Anyway,
the green screen, like it looks like you're.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need like a background behind you.
You need to go unalign yourself. That's you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Spidey Guy Murph. And Spidey Guy Murph support from my guy Spidey Guy. He says, I just remembered I got to dig up those Mass Effects. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, anytime, man. I find some pretty good stuff on there, Jason. Okay,
I haven't played that game in forever.
Nobody cares about what games you play because you play boring games. Okay,
Mass Effect is actually pretty good.
It's actually pretty good. I'm just kidding. It's a good game. So I was thinking of topics to do this week and do slides for. And I was looking at, who was it? I think it was Nemesis Prime's, maybe his Instagram or somebody's Instagram, and they showed a statistic of the increase of 9.9s that are coming onto market. And I kind of thought to myself, well, there's obvious, like, you know, business relationship with like certain vendors that, you know, pre-sale like an exclusive comic, exclusive whatever. They send it CGC, they pre-sale 9.8s, and then they get them back, right? Hey, Fedora, I'm gonna mute you for a second. You got some background noise. So I was like, I wonder what actual 9.9s are like coming to the eBay market. Not so much like the pre-sale or like third-party markets or whatever. I want to actually see like the sales for them. And so this week shows more of like, okay, one, it's a question of like, are we actually falling for the 9.9s, or are we subbing our 9.8s to try and get 9.9s and not getting them? Is the market really heated up for like older 9.9s? Or is it more like, is it more of a market for like, okay, 9.8s are not worth this much for a particular comic book, but the 9.9s are getting a pretty big premium. I couldn't find a ton of data, actually, if you guys are curious, but like I couldn't find a lot of 9.9 sales. I found obviously not a lot of 9.8s, but like I couldn't find like huge 9.9 sales. So I think the market's either A, they're saying that they don't really trust the 9.9s in particular comic books, and then B, they're only valuing 9.9s on certain comic books as well. I know if that makes sense, but and that's kind of what I feel like. The 9.9 is a gimmick, just from the data I found. Pickles, have you ever got a 9.9 in your life ever?
No.
Me either.
And well, I'm curious to see like what the numbers would be like on people who are resubmitting books that are like plentiful but older, that already have 9.8s, like say just one that's like available everywhere, like an ASM 300. If you have a 9.8 in that, how many people are cracking that, trying to resubmit and get a 9.9? And on top of that, will it affect the price of 9.8s and make it go down, or will it leave the 9.8s at the same price but create a huge gap, kind of like a 9.8 to a 9.6 is on certain books? Yeah, it's almost like $1,000 dip sometimes between a 9.8 and a 9.6 on like certain keys. So I'm curious to see if it would do something to where the 9.9 would just price that much more, or if it would knock down the 9.8.
Or are people gonna know it's a gimmick and they're gonna be like, why would I pay that much money for a 9.9 when I could just buy a 9.8 and the difference is unnoticeable? There is no difference. It's all subjective at that point. But like a 9.9, like what the fuck is that? You know, like that could be,
I don't know.
A 9.8 to me it's one more point up. You know what I mean? Like any 9.8 could be a 9.9, I would assume, right? Yeah. Just depending on the person. So why would you spend that extra $1,000 when you could just be happy with a 9.8? Like sometimes I can't even tell the difference between a 9.6 and a 9.8 sometimes. And I'll be looking like, yo, what's the difference?
Yeah.
I'll be having a message, Philip Chung. And so I don't.
Feels like, sorry, I'm eating real quick. I gotta eat this. I gotta eat these hot wings with this fuck, I don't know. I'm being stupid.
But no, I mean 9.8, 9.9, like a 10, like what are we doing? Like the 9.8 is fine. Like a 9.9 is like what we're really looking at, like microscopic, like finite details in a fucking book.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's all good points. Yeah, Cody is 100% right. Chungy is a Golden Corral right now. It's about 130. He's probably there. Yeah.
I don't think we have Golden Corral.
I wish we had a Golden Corral. We got Chinese buffets all over the place, though.
The owner killed himself, right?
Oh my God! No, I did not know that. All right.
I'm pretty sure it's Golden Corral. He unalived himself. Sorry.
No, I was like, oh my God! Like I'm just shocked.
That's like an East Coast thing.
It's an East Coast thing, yeah. We don't got.
We have so many.
We need Cracker Barrel up in here too. We need Cracker Barrel. So here's the first book I found. I thought this was like, I remember this book came out and it, made a few top 10 shows and FOCs, whatever. And I feel so the 9/8 I saw go for this. I saw Raws for this book go for like $70 to $80. Saw 9/8 go for like 150. So you're not really making that much money, whatever. But I mean, the market showed in March, which was kind of a lull in the comic market from what I saw, sold for around 609.9. It's a really cool cover. There's not really a first appearance associated with this. And like, I'm sure you guys will notice from this list, a lot of the sales, not listing so much, but the sales that went through for these 9.9s and 10.0s, they're newer books. They're like, a lot of them are on very high quality paper, whether it's glossy or like cardstock, what have you, all that type of stuff. So I haven't seen like I saw a couple one-offs in 9.9s, like in a book from 2001, but for the most part, a lot of these 9.9s and 9.9s or 10.0s, they're these higher gloss, like handled, I would say, books is kind of what I'm alluding to.
I would imagine a lot of the modern DC books are like really good for 9.9s, like the cardstock ones.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean, right? Fedora, I did you talk about this book before it came out, or like you're a hunt for this book, right? Or am I wrong?
I try and get any Crow book.
Yeah,
but usually like I don't like if I have to do too much to get it, it's probably not worth it. And that was probably, I don't have it personally, but that's definitely one of those books that I was just like, it's not really all that worth it to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, the cover is cool. It's Miko Sion, who is one of my favorite artists, but there's nothing really else going for it, in my opinion. But I know Pickles, man. Like,
I have Crow #1. That's enough for me.
Oh, you'll like the last slide then. Pickles, man. Like, you're kind of a Crow fan, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, did you see this cover when this cover came out? Were you even aware of it? I'm not sure if you were.
No, this is my first time seeing this cover, but I mean, I dig the artwork.
Yeah, it's a nice cover, but like I said, man, like it doesn't make like this book just came out like less than a year ago. Like, are you really gonna pay a 9.9 like price point for like $500 for this book? Is there really doesn't have anything else going for it?
Who would pay that?
Somebody paid.
You got a 9.9?
Yeah, I guess, right? It's a weird thing. I don't know. I'd rather just pay $150 for the 9.8 because it displays different. I mean, it displays exactly the same, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
just print out your own.
Like, who's gonna go to your house and be like, "Whoa, a 9.9"? Nobody. Yeah. Nobody's gonna know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
It's like if you're worried about it, just put your own decal on it.
Yeah.
Just be like, just peace of mind. It's my 9.9.
Or in Canada they say decals. They do.
Decals.
Yeah.
Just like composite instead of composite.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like, oh, that's made of composite. Like what?
What was that, Fedora?
I said, I wish PSA would grade comics.
That would be funny. Yeah, that'd be weird. That'd be different.
There's a lot of people who think PSA grades comics. Funnily enough.
Oh, I mean, they may get into it, man. They just need a mold for it, I guess. Next book. I mean, this is one of my favorite covers in general, but I think this kind of made sense to me. Like, if I was gonna pay premium for a 9.9, like this is probably like the only one I would pay a 9.9 for.
Would you pay a 10?
Would I pay a 10?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any on the census in a 10 for the metal cover. But
I would imagine those will grade easy for 10s, you know?
Yeah, exactly, right? Because I think the 9.8 goes for like, I think last time I checked was like 1.1 million. Sorry, 1.1 thousand.
That's crazy.
But this one went for 2K. So like you're paying an extra. Oh man, I don't know, man. Like an extra $1,000 for a full 0.1% higher. But I guess you have to look back at the census and see how many. If this is like a one-off 9.9, then I guess it's justified. And if it's signed, I mean, even more so. But nonetheless, this went for 2K. So I think, with the metal cover, there might be those like 9899 snobs saying like, well, if it's a metal cover, it should be flawless. It's a well-loved book in general. I didn't have time to look up the CGC consensus numbers, but I know this metal cover is limited anyway. So that 99's got to be like pretty. It's more rare than the 98s, obviously. So Pickles. I know we talked about this book before in the past, like, but do you think that's justified at $2K for a 99 versus like 98 going for like $800 difference essentially? So 50% markup.
Ooh. I would probably just go for the 98.
Yeah.
I mean, just for personal preference, it's like I'm saving the money and it's going to display the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not worried at that point. I'm not worried about the grade. Like if it was a difference between like a 7.0 and a 9.8, then I'd be like, okay, that's a big difference because the book might look trashed. Yeah. But the difference between a 9.8 and a 9.9, what is it, like maybe half of a spine tick or something like that? Like, and like I don't know what you differentiate there when it's that. Mine is like, just give it a 10. Like what like why is it not a 10 then?
Yeah, right. Is it like a fingerprint? No, that would drop it down big time.
That's why I want PS. I would rather PSA because their grading system is like
9 or 10.
Yeah, 9 or 10. Like,
there's no 9 middles.
But it's weird because CG for trading cards, for Pokemon cards specifically, they got rid of the 0.5 point whatever grading system. So I don't know why they would do that for trading cards, but then for comics make it more like 9.6, 9.8, 9.9, 10. Like, why don't you just do that across all of your grading platforms?
I don't know. It's weird. I think this whole 9.9 like submission thing, I feel like CGC should just kept quiet on it, or like, because like, I mean, we've only gone through 2 books so far, and I think the census is kind of convinced like a 9.9's like not really, from a collector standpoint, unless you're going to hit like a very high end like limited cover, it's not really going to really make me want to get that extra like grade or that extra 9.9 or that 0.1 or 0.01, whatever math is. It's not really convincing us to go up the other level to spend the extra $800 to $1,000 on the higher grade. Anyway, high 9.
The only 9.9 I care about is Brooklyn 9.9.
What the hell is a Denmark?
Yeah.
Death Touch. I love that show. Movie. Whatever. Anyway. Next book, Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. Now, I thought this was cool to find, not so much put as a 9.9 contender or whatever, but I think it's a Peach Momoko's best cover I've ever seen. It was an SDCC exclusive. Now this is pretty crazy. I'm not mad at this price because the 9.8s go for like $150, I want to say, but this is signed and it's a 9.9. So like when I found this on eBay, it really popped. It's Resident Evil. Arguably, I think it's Peach Momoko's best cover. It's a lower print run because Resident Evil, it wasn't like the original Resident Evil comic book series. It was like a offshoot or like a continuation series. This is like the one I actually did really like in regards to like price point and having like, if you're a Peach Momoko fan and possibly a Resident Evil fan. I'm not sure what year this book came out. Do you know, Fedora, do you know this Resident Evil Infinite Darkness series?
Yeah, I do.
What year did it come out?
Tokyo Pop, right?
Yeah.
Last year.
Oh, so it's fairly new.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, the art's pretty sick in the series. Am I right?
Yeah. It's extremely low print too. Extremely low print.
Okay.
When it was coming out, we'd only get like 5 copies.
Holy cow! Oh.
Yeah. The first issue had about like 10 copies.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second one had like 5. And then there was at one point where we were getting like 2 copies, 3 copies.
Did you read it?
No, I mean, I don't know. No. I know people ask for Resident Evil comics. Like, there's obviously like a market for it.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that this 9.9 would go for 500. Just mainly because like Resident Evil comics and even manga are kind of hard to find. And I know people who like Resident Evil want to collect like all the memorabilia and whatnot. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't too mad at this 9.9 sale. Just for a Peach Momoko like comic book. But like Fedora said, I mean, this book just came out like a year and a half ago. So here's something that I just thought of. So like our ratioed like books, like for example, like Captain Marvel 4. Is that gonna, if a 9.9 comes out of that, is that gonna push that book even higher to possibly like a 1K? I don't know. I guess it also depends on like if the market believes that that's a rarely rare book in general because of the ratio, and now it's even more rare because it's like that one of one kind of thing or whatever. Pickles, what's your favorite Resident Evil game? Oh,
I think I'm probably partial to 2 and 4, I believe.
4 is pretty fun, man. Yeah, you're right there. 4 on the GameCube
4 was the one where they first adjusted the shooting cam, right? From being like back to actual
4 was like the best and worst thing that happened to the franchise, in my opinion.
Why the worst thing?
Because they like, it was a good game and it definitely innovated a lot of like future games. Like they had the over-the-shoulder camera, but like it just went from like a survival horror game to some like Michael Bay blowing shit up. Like, and I'm just like, this isn't even a horror game anymore.
There's no like mystery or like clues you got to figure out, right?
No, it's just, and then it went even more off the rails when with Resident Evil 5, when they had big ass like brolic Chris Redfield punching boulders. Then Resident Evil 6 was just complete garbage. So, and then they had all like the offshoots, which were okay. Like Revelations was all right. I kind of thought that one was fine. But Jesus Christ, like that was like after 4, there was like a dark period of Resident Evil because they just wanted to be more fucking action oriented than horror. And I'm like, bro, like, why is this happening?
The dark times.
So, but Resident Evil 7 definitely went back to its roots, and so I'm happy for that. But for like 10 years after that, man, like, geez, we were suffering.
Number 7 is where he goes and he's trying to find his like wife that was missing for 3 years.
Yeah, that one was great.
That shit was so scary, dude. There's a VR. There's a VR version. Fuck that. I ain't playing that VR version, man.
Was that the Biohazard game? Is that what it is?
I think so.
I played like the one where you start out in the swamp, like her group of scientists or whatever go missing.
Yeah,
start out.
I don't know. I can't remember.
And it's like you start out in this house, and that lady starts attacking you in the ceiling. Dude, that took me forever to get through because I couldn't figure out what the hell to do. Like I kept shooting her, and she wouldn't die. Like I'd like researched all these rooms, like knowing that she was like up there to start.
Oh yeah, fuck that bitch.
I found like the pistol. I found ammo, all this other stuff. And
how do you kill her?
Go upstairs and she attacks you. And I'm like, I don't even know how to get. Like I'd shot her, she wouldn't die. I tried running, I couldn't get out. She kept catching me, and I would die. And I'm just like, damn it! It's like it took me forever to figure out that. It was so frustrating because it was like the first part of the game.
What? How do you kill her?
I don't remember at this point.
I'd
have to replay it or even check to see if I even got past it. I could have gotten frustrated and just stopped.
Well, I think that's kind of where I stopped, and then you know what I did?
But it was also too dark. I remember being like, I can't see anything.
It was really dark. But you know what I ended up doing when I couldn't get past that point, Jason?
My guess is that you went to your strategy guide.
Yo, y'all talk mad old. Homie said strategy guide. I would never say that.
What's up, Tony? Yo. And fuck you, Jason. All right.
Like, what do you think I did when I couldn't pass it? Like, I whipped out this video game for dummies over here.
But Dora goes, go on the internet. Don't buy
strategy. Bro, it's that strategy guy, bro. That's
because you like to. You flip through the pages, man. It's like it's fun. You gotta look through the indexes and stuff.
Who goes into GameStop and buys a strategy guide? Yo,
that guy.
I went into GameStop like 5 years ago to ask for a gaming headset for the Wii, and everybody laughed at me. So I can just imagine if I went in there asking, yo, you got strategy guides? Like, come on, Jason, bro. Like, that was crazy.
Everyone just like turns around and looks, and I leave very slowly. Hey, but if you go into a used video game store, they have a strategy guide section. It looks
they
like
do.
a bookcase, and then they're way too expensive.
That's not, is it? I don't know.
Man, because they're priced hella, man. Because everyone wants them because they have all the answers. You know,
that's not why everybody wants them first. Come on, bro.
I know.
They got the in video games in New York. They had like a back issues of like a back issue bin of just strategy guides, and this was like pre-pandemic. It's gone now. They had Nintendo Power. They had stacks of Nintendo Power.
I would have bought all of them.
Yeah,
pressed them.
Somebody probably did that.
Yeah.
They had PlayStation magazine.
Smart.
It was crazy.
Smart.
Then when you started like putting me onto it like a year ago, I would say.
Yeah.
I went back and I was like, shit, those are all gone.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. It doesn't matter with the condition either. I'll eventually show them off on this show, I think. I actually sent like a few strategy guides to CGC. I mean the market's very new in the strategy guide sphere, but I'll let you guys know what they come out at. If you by the way, you guys aren't following Tony in the chat here, give him a follow. Good person to know, has huge knowledge on magazines, and he has some pretty good if you look him up on eBay under Blue Green Artifacts, has some pretty good listings out there, and he takes offers and stuff. So yeah, he's good people. He has really good information on magazines for sure, and comic books, but like he's my magazine guy. So this is our next book, which I thought, okay, so we're going back almost like 30 years or 30 plus years on this book, Venom 1 Red Foil. So this is like an upper echelon of 9.9 collectors, I would say, or just like big money collectors.
This makes sense.
Right?
That price makes sense. It makes sense.
I feel like this is actually like, okay, 9.9 justified like price, right? Because that's definitely a one-off. It's a rare book. It's got a lot of history with it. It's Venom. I personally wouldn't pay this much for it. However, I think this is where it makes sense with the 9.9 kind of like valuation. Pickles, have you ever had this book before?
Yeah, this is the 6-run set, or well, it had a 6-issue run, right?
I think so.
I think I had a full run and sold it like a year or two ago.
Oh, really? I remember buying this when I was a kid, man. Back in the not this red foil variant. Real quick in the chat, John, do you have this in 9.9? Because if you do, like that's a modern grail right there.
If you have congrats. It at a 9.9, sell it, bro. Don't even hold it. Just sell it right now.
Okay. Actually, I'm curious about that. So you would sell this if you don't think it would increase in value?
It's not that I would think it would increase in value. It's just Venom is. I think this is his peak right now, right? So I mean, because I know that they're talking about bringing Venom into the MCU to fight Tom Hunt, whatever. So I don't really know, like, but I think he's hot right now. Like children like him, adults like him. I don't know. I feel like I would just get rid of it and get something better, right? Because there's a lot of better books to get you. $4,000, you can get like a really good Silver Age book, a Golden Age book. You can get something that's definitely will always appreciate value. So I don't know if Venom is even gonna be as popular as he is now 20 years from now or 30 years from now, you know? I would say that confidently, like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, maybe, like those are characters that I see like being always relevant. But Venom, he's gonna have his time here and he's gonna have his time there. So I don't know. I would get rid of it.
Okay. I honestly was just asking for your honest opinion. I think I personally, if I had this in 9.9, I would hold on to it just out of curiosity, not so much like and I would assume that I probably got a pretty good deal on it originally. But yeah, 3,400 for this 9.9 red foil goodness. And I guess John, you got one in your attic, dude. It has to be the red foil variant though. Send that bad boy to CGC. I don't know what the cover part of, or I don't know like the sensitivity of the cover or the paper on this book was, but like I gotta assume that
it's pretty easy to get.
Is it pretty easy?
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of cardstocky because
Okay.
I have like 3 copies that are like mint only because like I tried to give one to like mini com, and then she was just like, yeah, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll keep it. So
yeah, cool.
I have like 2 newsstands and one regular one. So
no, I love it, man. That's I mean it's a known book. You know, the cover egg still goes for like $20, so that just tells you like people like this book.
And people people have T-shirts with him on it. That's an important thing to
think about.
Like
sure.
when you're investing in comics, like if you go outside and then you see like the Todd McFarlane like famous Spider-Man pose, right?
Yeah.
You would probably want to get that book, you know, because people are familiar with the cover, you know?
Right.
So
yeah, and I mean he's, you know, aside from the movie stuff, I mean people know who Venom is, you know, from everything else, so it's always a good thing. We're about 45 minutes into the show. I want to thank all 22 of you amazing people that are live. Just do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends about us, and again, thanks for joining us. We're gonna do a giveaway at the end. But yeah, it really helps out with the algorithm. If you guys can real quick just hit that like button and get us out there. And I'll go on to the next one. Interesting topic today, guys. I think we got a good one. This one, I wish I had had seen a cover of this like in person, but God of War, this one sold for $1,799. I don't even know what the cover A's go for, but I feel like that's a huge premium over the regular 9.8 cover. Yo, I don't even know how to start with this. You know, it's not a Marvel, it's not an Image, it's you know, a smaller publisher. It's a video game. There's an option news, whatever the option news, but like, fellas, like that's a lot of money. Like this is where I'm like, holy cow, like that's a big risk to put 1,700 into a 9.9 when a cover A is going for like 300 to 500, if that. Fedora, man, what's your thoughts on God of War as a franchise to invest in?
A lot of people know it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people play it. There's probably going to be a show one day.
Sure.
The comic books, I could say without a doubt, are pretty low print. So the chances of another 9.9 showing up are not likely. Because I've said this many times before. We rarely do get video game comic books or like games that are transitioning to comic books in the shop. And every time we get them, they're like always, like we always get like 10 copies in the shop. So now I don't know how many that they're selling on the website or how much they keep at the warehouse, whatever. But I know that like when God of War came out for Dark Horse, we didn't really get that many. And that was at that was when I was a customer and I was going to the Times Square shop. Yeah. And the Times Square shop has they order the most because that's where everyone goes. And they had a little bit. Cyberpunk 2077, the comic, number 1, that was a little bit. And you know, and during the pandemic, every time I would see it, I would buy it. So I think that not many shops are going to order a God of War comic because no one's going to go, hey, clerk, one God of War comic, please. No one does that. No one does that ever. I've never seen a kid walk into a store and be like, yo, you got Call of Duty comics? It's not a thing that happens. The only thing closest was Halo. And then that was it. And then that was just one time in my life where some kid was like, yo, you got Halo comics? And then he was surprised.
Hello, clerk.
Yeah. Hello, chap. I would say that it makes sense only because, you know, how many copies of God of War or Ragnarok sold, like I would say in the millions. It was one of the biggest PlayStation games. You got a rare comic and a 9.9 that probably weren't printed all that much. So I would say that I guess you made out because it's really hard to tell because I don't really know the market for people going and buying specifically video game comics, but I know that God of War is a huge franchise. So some guy was probably like, yo, I got 1,700. Here you go.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So God of War, Devil May Cry, Mega Man. A lot
Oh,
of
hold
these
on, hold
little
on.
projects.
You're going other ones I haven't coming up. We'll talk about those later. Save those thoughts for the next one. All right.
Okay.
Pickles. Did you ever play God of War? And like, man, would you be interested in this comic book at all?
Not at that price, no. I'd be interested
sure.
if I found it for cheaper. I did play the games. This was like this and like he said, Devil May Cry were kind of like the OG like button smasher games, I guess. Like they kind of led the way in those because it wasn't like it required skill, but I just remember when I was playing it, it was like a lot of just hitting buttons. Like but it's taken off from there, obviously. I just haven't played it in a while because I haven't had PlayStation, so
it's not on it's not on another platform. It's not. I mean, it's on Xbox.
I don't believe so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it's their exclusive.
I just looked at the market, and 9.8s are only going for 300, and there was another 9.9 sale best offer for 1,000, but that might have been higher. I'm not sure. And this sale was actually from like the beginning of this month. So, yeah. And Doc Joe was saying earlier, this is a pretty easy 9.9 because the cover's stock is almost plastic. So it's so that might be like an indication, right? Where the 9.8s versus 9.9s, people are going to make that valuation because maybe the assumption is like, no, this should get a 9.9. It shouldn't just be a 9.8. And so there's that kind of like deal. God's PlayStation, only new one on PC too. Oh, okay, good to know. I've actually never played God of War myself. I know there's like a God of War like PlayStation version, like collector's edition, where I think would be pretty cool to have. That's where I would go as a collector versus getting the God of War comic 9.9 for $1,700. I'd rather have the system as a collector's item if I'm investing, quote unquote. So Mega Man foil, I saw this. Fedora, we'll get into what you think about this book in a little bit, but yeah, $1,650 best offer yesterday. So this is very, very new. The other thing I was kind of thinking about in regards to this whole CGC 9.9 stuff, like I can't think of the top of my head, but like it'd be cool to see like I would value 9.9s from like pre 2021, 2022 higher than a 9.9 like today, because obviously from all we know is that I never played God of War. I'm sorry. But I think since CGC's pushing this whole 9.9 narrative, I feel like that kind of devalues current 9.9s that are coming out. Just food for thought, just as a collector and evaluating in this unregulated market, quote unquote. Pickles, Mega Man foil.
We are the market now. We regulate it.
We are the market. We are the market maker. Anyway, Pickles, what do you think about this book, man? What do you think about Mega Man?
So Mega Man was always one of my favorites to play when I was a kid. Like I had Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I played all the old NES ones like over and over and over. Like wasn't, or was it Rockman? Isn't that what they call him in Japan?
Rockman. Yeah.
I just love those games. This cover brings back nostalgia from the games. I can't remember what the hell that dog's name was though, because they brought him in like number 2 or 3. I remember that. It's like Rock Arjet.
Man, dog. Let's see.
But I remember he had the 3 thing. Rush, that was what it was.
Yeah.
Because you had like Arjet and R-Bounce and this and that. He'd like come in and show up and he'd like bounce off of his back.
Yeah, he's a badass dude. Do you remember, wasn't there like a cartoon too, or am I wrong?
Yes. I believe there was a Mega Man cartoon.
Yeah.
Like from back in like the either late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this book came out 20 years ago, 2004, I want to say. So this is a Dreamwave, not IDW, but Dreamwave comic.
It was IDW before IDW.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I feel
And
like
they did have a cartoon. I used to watch it when I was a kid.
you did.
It was in the 90s. Yeah,
It's pretty good, man. The cartoon was cool.
Because like some of those, I couldn't remember if they had full shows. Remember they had that like it was like a Nintendo show where they'd break in with little cartoon segments of like the Mario Brothers and Zelda and stuff like that. And I like couldn't for a long time. I was like, I don't remember if I was watching them on there or if they actually had their own shows. But then I remember
they had their own show.
Like separate and have their own.
They had their own show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You're older than me, so you don't watch that cartoons anymore. You're into girls.
I've like reversed age. I'm now into cartoons and not so much into girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
So Fedora, you alluded to Mega Man earlier. I kind of stopped you because I wanted to save your thoughts for this book in particular, man. So what's your thoughts on this?
You know what? I'm more interested. I wouldn't pay that only because I think the play would be to buy the Scotty Young variant, get Scotty Young's signature, and get a 9.9 on that. That would be something that I would do. That's what I would do. I mean, 1600. I don't know, bro. Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. I just feel like Mega Man is one of those characters where it's like he's kind of like a millennial Gen X guy, and not many younger kids know who Mega Man is these days, and they don't really care about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you get Scotty Young's early work, get him to sign that, and then you could possibly get a 9.9 on that, that would be massive.
Yeah.
So
I have the Scotty Young variant, and I think it got rejected at CGC. I was doing a 9.8 pre-screen on it, and yeah, I'm kind of sad about that. But this is another thing. Just kind of a sidebar on this whole grading thing, man. Like, I don't know if it's like just me or like you guys think this too, but like, so CGC, okay, certain like ticks in here and that, whatever, on certain books, but like other books, like I submitted 4 books for 9.8 pre-screen, and 2 got rejected, and like 1 had very little like spine tick. Like that was it. I couldn't see any color breaks. I couldn't see anything else, and they rejected it. And it's a pretty modern book, or that's not like a modern book. It was like, I think it came out in 2009. So I think they're grading a little harder, honestly. And so if like, I think Michael Baker was saying earlier, like if you're trying to get money for people by grading books, like why would you reject it? So isn't there like, I feel they're more incentivized to give more 9.8s now versus like, we're going to reject it. We're going to be so strict on grading. So I don't know, man. Like, I'll talk about that at the end of the show, but
but you know what I do think?
Yeah.
I think they favor certain like people that like submit in bulk. Like I feel like if you're submitting hella books, you're more likely to get more 9.8s because they want your business. But that's just my conspiracy.
That might be a good. I mean, that might, and maybe that's gonna force people to like submit all together. Like us, let's say for example, we all individually submit 4 books, and we all get rejects. But what if we like resubmitted those books all together in like one account? I wonder what the difference would be. That'd be something to look into.
Well, I did see what was it the other day? I watched a video of somebody talking about fast track, how it's not worth it.
Oh, I mean that's neat. Like
this dude basically like submitted books 1 week and then sent books in a week later with no fast track, and they both got graded and shipped the same freaking time. He's like, they're just like, it's not worth it.
So I would say to that's like been a known thing for like a year. Like that was not
the only thing I would ever pay for fast track on is like old books.
Sure. Oh, you're
like modern.
You're smart.
It's not modern. It's a waste of time, like, or a waste of money. But if you want to get like an older book back quickly, I would definitely pay the fast pass on that.
Yeah, I thought that video. I know what you're talking about. I like unfollowed that guy because I was just like, all this guy does is like bitch and moan about stupid shit. That's like not a. That's not a like unknown thing. Like I haven't paid fast track in like 5 years, or like since the pandemic. You know what I mean? So, duh, that's your own dumbass, right?
Yeah, if it's like that, if it's gonna be in the older grade, then yeah, I'll pay for it because sometimes that shit takes like months to get back.
Yeah, and like why would you pay for fast track anyway? Like on a modern, like I don't know. I just never would do.
Unless it's like something that you just got in that like skyrocketed in price right away, and you're trying to like get a 9.8 back quickly to capitalize on the FOMO panic before it dips back down to normal.
Stupid. Yeah. Anyway, we're almost we just passed the hour mark. We're almost done with the show, guys. Again, I want to encourage everyone to watch the oh my god, I just forgot the tribute to TiVo on the I'm having a really tough day today. Lords of the Long Box channel. Thank you, Jason. I think it's 6:00 Pacific time today. And if you're not able to catch it, I mean, I wonder what the future of that show is going to be. It might be pretty tough to like see what's going to happen now, but I hope they still do the show. I'll definitely still watch it because I do enjoy their positive kind of energy on the show, and the community is pretty awesome as well. Like Michael Baker was saying, like that was the first time we kind of clicked on chat, so that was pretty cool. And Michael Baker's a great shout out to him. He's a great community member and all that. And there he is. Yeah, here's the link to the YouTube show tonight. You guys check it out. I'm kind of working on the random names for the giveaway later today. And I'll give you guys a chance to chime in, but I'm just kind of going off of what I can see here. But back to we got two more after this. So Spider-Gwen number 1. And thanks guys. Thanks chat. Thanks for getting my back today. Spider-Gwen number 1. Oh, and hit that like button, please. Thanks. Spider-Gwen number 1. This sold for $1,000 in 9.9. Cover A. So it's just a cover A. There's no incentive book. A 9.8 maybe goes for $99 if you're lucky that day. I don't like this 9.9 sale. This is not one I would pay $1,000 for. That's a 1,000% increase if you're going off of a $99 9.8. So no, I'd pay maybe $200, $250 maybe, but like it just doesn't do anything for me. Fedora, that's a huge increase, don't you think? For that 0.1 bump.
Nah, that's not even worth my shelf space. I don't even think a 9.8 is worth my shelf space on that.
It's kind of what I was thinking too, man. Honestly,
no.
It's too bad. Pickles, do you have a Spider-Gwen number 1? It's a cool cover.
I have like 3 or 4 of these sitting in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I purchased all of them. Like sometimes it was like I got given one, or like it was just people were handing these things out back in the day.
Yeah. This was a recent sale too.
Once it hit high and then dipped back down, because like I remember there was a point where 9.8s were going for like, I don't know, $500-$600 maybe.
Holy cow! Wow, that's a lot. I didn't know that.
No, like crazy. COVID prices. Like maybe it was a little bit less than that, but I definitely saw it up in 100.
Yeah, this is like, you could kind of make an argument like 9.9s are like COVID prices for 9.8s from back in the day, right? Like, I wonder what a 9.9 Captain Marvel 17 second print would go for, you know?
Like I want to see the people that are like pony up for like $25,000 for like a freaking 9.8 and something like a first Punisher, or I'm trying to think of like books that go for that much. Like probably I don't know. But like getting a 9.8 and that, cracking it and trying to burn out the only 9.9.
What would you do? Like, what would you do? There's no guidance.
There's one Hulk 181 on the census in a 9.9.
Is it the highest grade?
Yes. There's just one. So someone out there has it.
John Horcher says, probably for food and rent. That's crazy, man. Yeah, man. I didn't like this sale at all. I thought it was like, this is crazy pandemic.
$1,000 for a 9.9. That's
yeah, man. Just people are throwing money at like nonsense 9.9s, and like this is the thing. Like, just opening up submissions for 9.9 just to make a little extra cash. Then pretty soon everybody's gonna be like, why am I paying this premium? I'm just gonna buy the 9.8. Like,
I know. Doc Joe. Like this is what
CGC's
people's like gonna be doing now, man. They're gonna, and okay. So it's we talk about like CGC is now owned by Blackstone, which is a private equity, and whenever a company goes into private equity, the private equity wants to. They want to value the company at a certain price and then sell it off to another part of investors. They never want to hold on to it. That's always what happens. So I would say that, okay, the 990 is going to help increase prices for like a bit, right? But there's going to be all these shows. There's going to be all the market data that's going to show that's not actually worth it to like that 99s are really going to be worth that much. Is gimmicky. I think it's going to catch up to the market in general. If that's really CGC's goal, which it sounds like it is, like kind of like outside looking in, they need to lay off people. And that's what they need to do. They need to lay people off because there's no consistency. There's no this 990 is not going to last, in my opinion. And it's only going to benefit like newer comic books. But I feel like that money's just got to get smarter. Maybe not. Who knows? Holy shit. Anyway, next book, Invincible #1 gold, and these next ones coming up, I just don't like these sales. This one was a 9.9, and it was signed by Robert Kirkman.
That makes sense.
This book isn't rare though. There's
know.
a lot of printings, right?
It has cardstock too, like the I have one. The gold foil.
How much is that gold foil go for just unsigned?
Probably not that much, I would assume.
Doctor goes, I just spent $1,000 last night on a 98, but I buy stupid stuff all the time. I mean, like seriously, but that's what I think is gonna end up happening, man. Like if this 9.9 thing doesn't work out, they're gonna start laying people off. That's just gonna happen. Private equity, man, it just happens. And plus they're not doing their job because I got shelled on my pre-screen, so I'm just kidding. So like an Invincible gold goes for like what, $20, $10?
It's not that much,
right? It's just kind of like oh, I want a copy of Invincible 1 and kind of a different cover. Gold is cool, right?
It was re-released when the cartoon came out.
Yeah. So you think 700 for a 9.9 signed by Robert Kirkman's fair?
Yeah, I would say that's about fair. Would I spend it? No. Mm-hmm. But I would imagine that somebody that really loves him, because Invincible is huge now. Some guy the other day came in and was like, "Oh, I really like Invincible. I want to read the comics." And then we had the library compendiums, and I'm like, "Look, man, like everything is sold out. This is the only thing that we have." And then he was just like, "That's it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, they're 125 each." And then he was like, "I'll take all 5 of them."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so, and these are like library compendiums, so, and he spent what, like $550, he almost spent $700. Mm-hmm. Thank God we had like the rewards program, so he could save money on his purchases after $100. So he ended up saving a little bit, but, if he's willing to do that, right, he's probably willing to spend $700 on a 9.9 signed by Robert Kirkman, so he can tell his friends who also like Invincible, like, "Oh, look what I got! It's signed by the creator."
Yeah.
So Robert Kirkman is at that level now, where his name holds weight. The casuals know who he is. The comic book fans know who he is. People like us know who he is. So I would say like he's like kind of like this. I don't want to suck him off that hard, but he might be approaching Todd McFarlane level. He might be. So we'll see.
I mean, he's the only like writer I can like confidently say, yes, you are a Hollywood hot writer. You know what I mean? Like you could probably say that about Garth Ennis, but he kind of keeps a low profile. But like legitimately, he is Hollywood in what I could say. Pickles, do you have Invincible, or do you like the show? What are your thoughts on Invincible?
I don't own any of the books, no. But I like the show. I still haven't watched season 2 yet, but I like the first season of it.
I watched the second season. Oh, how many? There's 2 seasons, right?
2 seasons, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they released season 2 in like 2 parts, I guess, because they came back with it at some point.
I gotta catch up on those. I'm still watching Fallout. I can't finish it for some reason.
I finished Fallout.
Oh,
That's my thing.
There's
Is like
no
I remember
Fallout
that Invincible's
comics.
there.
There's no Fallout comics, man. Yeah.
I'm surprised that they've never. That's one that I'm like, why? Like, why they never do that?
I don't know. It's a good question, man.
So if you're a
Michael,
publisher out there,
you're a publisher out there. Hey, Image, hello,
Image, Massive Publishing, like whoever, IDW, do something. Like you want money, bro. Like that's. I don't understand why they're not doing that. Because you could just essentially make up your own fucking story at that point.
I guess you know, could,
like you don't. It could be some random. Like you don't. There's no lore. I mean, obviously, there's like a base skeleton that you need to follow, but you don't need to follow any specific continuity. You can make up your own.
Yeah, it's true. And Fedora, I thought of you on this one. It's not a 9.9, but I thought like in the concept of like higher grades for books that are older, it's just like what? Like this was like I haven't seen the book, so I just thought this is like kind of hits where we're talking about today. But a 9.8 sale of The Crow went for 7,000 best offer a couple weeks ago. It's a 9. I mean, look, yeah, it's a 9.8, man. I don't know how this book got a 9.8.
Is that a first print?
It is a first print. Yeah.
So during the pandemic, I want to say a 9.8 went for 11K.
Okay.
So there's not many out there.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that it's a huge drop from like 11K to like where we're at now. But 7K is like that's still pretty insane for this book.
Yeah. And maybe maybe this wasn't like I don't know when this book was graded, right? Like I didn't look at the CGC like notes or anything like that, but like I just thought, you know, in the manner of speaking of this 9.9 craziness, like I'm okay with a 9.8 of this book. I'm kind of reverting back when it's really hard to get, right? But if there was a 9.9 in this book, that's where I think that's kind of where I'm standing with this whole 9.9 nonsense is like if books like this or like a Wolverine 1 came back in a 9.9, I just can't believe it. Like that just doesn't seem like realistic to me.
So
and it hurts the brand.
A certain YouTuber made a video because some guy, I guess he had like a box of Wolverine 1s, the Frank Miller ones. He sent it to CGC and he got multiple 9.9s and I think like a 10 or some crazy shit like that recently. So this certain YouTuber who we all know, he was just like, oh, he was saying it's gonna hurt the 9.8. But I kind of disagree with that because Wolverine 1 is like, not even talking about the brand, just Wolverine 1 as itself. It's always, that book is always going to be like, I feel like the 9.8 will hold its value. The 9.9 kind of won't, or the 10, because a lot of people are now, it's kind of like the pandemic, right? How when we were all like, these prices aren't sustainable, right? So, and everybody was talking on the CSI group, Facebook group, that like, it doesn't matter, you know, because we all know the 9.9 is BS. Like people spending this money, you know, the smarter people are going to know, you know, so nobody's really worried about that. So that's just my opinion, but it does hurt the brand. You're right.
Yeah,
it really does.
That's kind of like what I got. I mean, Pickles, like, I want to know what do you think, man? What do you think about this whole 9.9 nonsense stuff? Does it make you want? Okay, I'll ask this. This is a good question for you, Pickles. Does it make you more nervous to submit comic books, or does it make you more confident to submit comic books? How does it affect you submitting?
I feel like it makes to submit. I would say that it makes me feel more confident that you can probably get a 9.8 with the off chance of a 9.9. But like as far as I'm concerned, I'm not shooting for the 9.9. I'm not worried about it type of deal. And also, I'm just kind of, there's not many 9.9s that I would want to buy anyways. Like, I think if I were to get one, it'd be something stupid random that's probably like way too expensive, like a house or like a first Swamp Thing in a 9.9 or something like that, which probably will never happen. But
right,
unless somebody's just got like that book stashed away somewhere, like well and tight and never touched. But
yeah, and it's like, and there can't be like 12 of them. You know, it has to be.
Well, that's the thing
one.
is like you'll have all these books now, and then it's just like, yeah, you just spent a shitload of money on the 199 that exists in that book, but what's going to happen to the value of that when the second one pops up, and the third one, and the fourth one, because that's all people are going to start doing now.
And I think what's affected me for this whole CGC 9.9 stuff is like, so is your criteria, like, what's your criteria for a book from 1980 versus one that came out in 2024? Is there different criteria there? I'll say this, man, like, and see, like, this is the stuff that just kind of makes me like wonder, like, I wouldn't pay money for that 9.9 if I was an investor. This is what it does for me. It definitely makes me not want to submit as much to CGC because I don't know what's going to happen. It's not so much I don't know what's going to happen to see, or it's more so I don't know what's going to happen to 9.8 books now. I have to look at more. I have to be more careful because like the data still, like, this whole 9.9 stuff's like pretty new, and so I feel that like if I don't get a 9.9, is that going to affect the value of my book? And so at that point, is it even worth like slabbing books? I might turn to,
wondering.
Yeah, I might turn to Commander Cody and
fighting.
Yeah. So for me, I haven't necessarily lost a customer, but you definitely lost a customer that's not going to go in and submit 10 to 15 books anymore. That may not really hurt their bottom line, but oh, sorry, I'm just kind of doing it. That's Spidey guy. That's just kind of what's happened to me in regards to this whole stuff. But
I think that's what you'll start seeing is a spike in the cost of raw books. I think those will go back up because people are going to start, like, true collectors, I guess. You'll start seeing like the price of raw books go up. Yeah. Especially for people that are like the collectible books, like the older ones.
And if anyone,
like, even like he was saying, that Giant Size X-Men 9.9, like, I mean, hell, that book still goes raw in like beat up copies for like $1,600.
Yeah,
like see them listed and shit like that. It's like it's like a 2.0 like raw.
Yeah, and I think there's another thing too, like, kind of, you maybe just think of something, Pickles, like, so if the 9.9 goes up in value, and that's kind of like the Mount Everest of that book now, and then 9.8 actually drops. If you're a value investor, does that help you attain like a 9.0 or 8.0, 8.5, where that's kind of where your niche is to get, or kind of the hit, in my opinion, if you're like going to get a Giant Size X-Men, it might be worth more to do that. So anyway, I think a really good discussion today. I hope this discussion today helped everyone in the chat, like, kind of determine, like, what do what's this going to do to affect your wallet? Are you going to submit more books? For me, like I said, like, I'm probably not going to submit as much, and I'm not really submitting as much anymore, but this makes me not want to submit like at all, honestly.
Like, I'll just get hard covers that display nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, and I think also for me, like, what I found lately is that the only books that I'm grading now, it's like something that I'm not even gonna grade, like, option news comic books. I better have them already slabbed. I'm only doing like the stuff that Fedora talks about. I'm just trying to flip them, honestly. And I'm trying to get 9.8s or higher. The 9.9 thing doesn't really do anything for me, but that's the only books I'm grading right now because the market's really soft. So anyway, I kind of started the giveaway wheel. I was going through the chat to see who was in the show, kind of showing us some love. Rudy, I gotta get you in there. My bad.
Who's the Keen Awakens?
Yeah.
You gotta highlight his comment because I have something to add to what he said. So if there was a guy on Reddit, he did like a Ask Me Anything, and he said that he works for one of the big, but this was like Pokemon related, but he essentially said he works for one of the big three. He's not gonna say who, and he was doing like a Q&A thing, and he was saying that he can't divulge too much information because then he would get found out. But he essentially said that like those companies, like, they grade cards for their friends. Like they give, like, if a friend sends in a certain submission, like they give certain friends like 9s on their Pokemon cards or 10s and things like that. And then he even said that like one time a manager had came up to him, and then he was like, "Oh, give me what you're grading because those cards are a friend of mine." So, and then he graded them. So he was pretty much like saying like everything that you think is happening is happening. Like there's favoritism, but this is just more towards like the trading cards. And he was talking about Pokemon to be more specific. So I don't really know what grading company he worked for. And I think I sent a screenshot to Ferd about it a long time ago, and we kind of spoke about it briefly. Might have covered it on the show once a long time ago when me and Ferd used to do our like Saturday or Sunday or Saturday Friday shows way back when. So yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me like if it was CGC or PSA, but yeah.
That's great info, man. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's really tough. I'm curious of this. Spider Guy. Update on my Mass Effect Collector Edition. Well, I found my open copy of Mass Effect 2, but not my sealed one. One or my 3 or my collector disc, so maybe I don't. How damn. Okay, well, let me know. And before I get into this, I just want to plug myself real quick. Just because like whatever I do. So yeah, again, I've been doing these videos for video games and comic books. I try and do these weekly. Really appreciate everyone's support. If you guys just like scroll through and like watch them and let me know how I'm doing, or if like Spidey Guy comment on this one. And he's looking for some Mass Effect, the Mass Effect Collector's Edition that he has. There might be some diamonds in the rough in these. I try and find not very niche or very niche like video games, and if you guys have them sitting around, it might be worth some money. Who knows? But just trying to help the market out, not just in comic books but in video games too. I would say this: I'm definitely submitting more video games than I am comic books lately, just because I enjoy it more. But yeah, a good discussion I think today. Thinking about like what to like, what to submit, like what the market's going for, and like whether it's worth even spending, $30 a grade 1 comic book, man. And yeah, I think Fedora's onto a really good thing. Oh, thanks, Cody. I appreciate that, dog. I think what Fedora is saying about like favoritism, I'm sure it's there. There's a lot of retailers that do exclusive books, and they have like 9/8 screens, and like they're submitting, and why not, right? They're submitting 300 books a month, or what have you. I just think if you segregate like the smaller submitters, they're just going to be gone, and I guess CGC has to determine whether or not that's worth it for their bottom line. So,
Eloy.
And Michael Baker has a very important question for you before I spin the wheel. Fedora, choose one to invest in: Tosin or Dolan?
Dolan. I got more faith in Dolan than I do Tosin.
Wow, that's how much you hate Tosin. I love it.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And John, watch the videos, because it depends, and it doesn't matter what format the video game's in. The market, if the game's rare enough, you could submit a CIB video game and have it grade at a certain grade and still make money off of it. It just really depends. But yeah, check out the videos, man. Let me know how I'm doing. I hope they work out. So I'm going to give everyone about 30 seconds to let me know if you want to be on the wheel. This is just a slab giveaway today with some comic books. I'm just trying to reduce like my collection, honestly. So yeah, just let me know. Fedora, Dolan for life. Just kidding. And thanks, Smarty Guy. I appreciate it, man. And I'm really curious about that Mass Effect, man. I hope you make some money off that Mass Effect video game. It was pretty cool. But I'm gonna
Dolan.
Fuck Dolan. Did I get you in there, DJ? I got you right here.
Hey,
right?
I'm not it. The fuck?
What'd you say?
What'd you just call
Oh,
me?
there you go. There. I got it. I got you in there. How's that?
Bitch.
Wait. Fuck. All the way off. There we go. That's better. Okay, we're gonna spin this. Again, I want to thank everyone for supporting the show today. Yeah, thanks, Rushmore. And you guys, check out. I don't do shows on Fridays, but this is definitely a new show I'm checking out every Friday for sure. So check on Rushmore's new live show. It's good stuff, man. I said again, looking at my third source. Yeah, for sure.
What?
Okay, let's see here. All right, let's run this show and we'll send everybody off.
So while this happens,
that'd be weird as shit if I won it. Oh, I might.
Never mind. Creed, looks like you are the wiener. I do still have to send off the book I gave away last couple weeks. I promise I'll send that one off. It's been kind of busy today. But Creed, hit me up on Instagram or in the comments. Give me your address. I'll send you off that slab with a couple other key comic books. Just want to say thanks for the support, and it's all really appreciated for sure. Good topic today. Good discussion points. Good look at the market, I would say. I'm kind of patting myself on the back, but no, I appreciate Fedora. You had some pretty good insight on what's worth it in a 9.9 and maybe what's not worth it. I think in general though, I think we can agree that like the 9.9 stuff it's really not for us. I would say
it's fugazi. It's
kind of fugazi.
It's a flim-flam.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what it does to the market in the next coming months, if it's going to have an effect. I would say, like I said again, like I'm not going to submit as much as I used to, just because it kind of gives me anxiety for those results coming back. Pickles himself just said, like, it probably gives him a little more hope to submit. But again, I know Pickles, you're not really submitting that much anyway, right?
I just noticed that my CGC membership renewed recently, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that.
So, I mean, like, maybe we should try something out, man. Like, maybe we should submit some stuff under your ticker and just see if, like, because I'm only submitting like 4 at a time. Maybe we submit like 10 and do pre-screen 9.8s. Maybe we'll get a better result. I don't know. Fedora, when was the last time you submitted something to CGC? Just out of curiosity.
I have a friend that submits for me.
Uh-huh.
The last thing I got graded, it was a 9.8, and it was the Souza Micah Catwoman 1 in 50. It was like a foil.
Yeah.
It was the who was the one that the chick in Batman that played her, 89 one.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
It was a Michelle Pfeiffer variant, and she had like a diamond in her mouth.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Yeah. And I got the foil of it. And then I got it because I would assume, like, who the fuck is ordering 50 copies of that book? No one. So I bought it, and then I got it at 9.8, and then that was, like, the last thing I ever got. So that tells you, like, how much I really don't give a shit about grading. Because, one, like, I feel like if I'm going to grade something, it's to flip it, but I don't really flip it. I don't really flip books. So at this point, I'm just grading stuff that I think looks cool, that I could possibly display it one day. And, I mean, until CGC figures itself out, I just feel like it's just best to hold on to it. There's just too much happening 9.9s, like weird wonky shit.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I just feel like I'm just gonna start grading my Pokemon cards, because I just feel like at least with PSA, even though there's some shady stuff going on there too, I at least know they're not gonna go, oh, we're gonna do this shit like a 10 plus, or like we're gonna do a 9 plus, so we're gonna do like some crazy shit like that. Because even when CGC restructured the way that they grade cards, they removed the 9.5s because they wanted to be more like PSA, and I guess that's fine because people were breaking the 9.5s and
submitting them over to PSA
to get the 10.
Yeah.
So I guess they wanted to stop that because they were giving PSA business. But then they ended up doing dumb shit, because then what ended up happening was, it was like they got a 10 and then they have their own version of the black label 10. So it's just like people are like, well, what the hell is the difference?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's confusing, man. And there's no consistency, right? And all these ideas keep coming up. But yeah, I think in general this may hurt. This could hurt TGC in the future. I'm not really sure.
I want to get a mass or just submit a bunch of Sword Master for 9.9s.
Just submit 30. Yo, just go to like a fucking random flim flam like comic book shop. You buy 30. Like they gotta be $1, right? They gotta be $1.
I have a couple. Hey, by the way, I listed this yesterday.
Yo, cross graded for 9.9, baby.
No, I'm just gonna sell it, man. I don't care. All right, guys. Again, thanks again for your guys' support. Hit that like button, subscribe, and congrats to the winner today for the slab Creed. Hit me up on Instagram, and I'll get you those books out as soon as possible. You all have a great day. Stay safe out there and stay warm. And shouts to the Lords of the Long Box team, man. Thinking of you guys today. So take care.